Hey, just a quick message to let you know that this video, as well as the series of videos, is brought to you by Jai. Jai is a Hanoi-based fightwear apparel and clothing company that are supporting me during my camp. They sell things like the cool rash guards I'm wearing. We've got here a Vietnamese wrestler guy with some blue detail at the bottom as well as on the sleeves. But they also sell other things like gis, fight shorts, and lifestyle items such as t-shirts and vests. So if you're looking to support a local brand and your favorite local fighter, then please check out their website and use code TEACHERHarry10 for 10% off. And the microphone is on. Start. Here is fine. Okay. Ready? Hey, what's up? My name is Harry, aka Harry John Smith, aka Teacher Harry. I'm here joined by my friend Bucky. Say what's up.
What's up?
I am an aspiring professional fighter living and training in Vietnam out of Vietnam top team in Hanoi. And today we're going to be reacting to my first fight from last year. It took place in June for an organization named Lion Championship. Shall we do it?
Let's go!
Let's go. Okay, so here we are. I should probably start screen recording.
Okay.
So, here I am, about to walk out. Any questions thus far?
One thing I was very confused about the emotion of the fighter, the day of the fight.
Sure.
How do you feel? Can you describe a little bit about your feeling the day of your fight?
Yeah,
The
so
first fight in Vietnam.
it's strange, right? This has been true for both times that I've had 3 amateur fights, and it was very similar each time. When you wake up in the morning, you feel a little nervous. Then you think about your plan for the fight, feel a little bit confident. Then more nervous, more confident, more nervous, more confident all day. And probably the most nervous I am is at this point here, right before I'm about to walk out. So as the day is going on, up and down, but when I get to this point is when I'm the most nervous.
Is your emotion change in the day? Because in the day it may have many parts. The part that you're warming up,
Yep.
how do you feel?
When I'm warming up on the pads, it's like this. Yeah, whether I feel nervous or I'm feeling confident, I still need to warm up anyways. And actually, when I'm warming up on the pads, my mind is a little bit taken away from how I'm feeling, and I'm really just focusing on preparing my body. So when I'm warming up on the pads, I feel fine, but like hanging around in the back, very nervous. So when I'm walking to the cage, very nervous.
And when you walk into the cage, any thinking in your mind?
Honestly, part of it, a small part of it is like, damn, I hope I don't trip over here, like fall over my own feet. So, and then also like this was the first time it was like this for me, where you have like the big camera and the television production and things. So it was like, oh, this is pretty serious.
Do you feel nervous?
Yeah, definitely. Especially like this, but I'm doing like a good face here. I don't look very nervous, I don't think. I just look like, neutral, but very nervous at this point. Yeah, just walking to the cage, and then honestly, once I get to the cage, the nerves settle, but it's here, the walk, that's what they call it. Yeah, going from the back to the cage, saying goodbye to my coaches, then closing the door. But when the referee says go, then
Yeah. In my point of view, you look like a Vietnamese gangster with a mullet hair.
Dude, that's the thing I regret the most about this fight. It's nothing I did technically or tactically, but the haircut is so bad, man. It is so bad. I will not have this haircut again. Right, let's do this. So yeah, here I am walking to the cage. As I said, feeling pretty nervous.
Some boy.
Thank you very much. Just focusing on, not falling over my own feet. What I'll do is I'll mute this actually. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, here's my opponent. When I'm in the cage, I do this thing where I'm like staring at my opponent, watching him walking to the cage, watching as he walks in. Maybe like a little bit of the mind games. I don't know.
I see a little bit of nervous in your opponent's eyes too.
Yeah. So here we go. What I'm trying to do here is just start landing a jab, trying to draw a reaction out of him, trying to get him to throw his hands. Here, I go with the body jab, he brings his hands down. I go again, I see he throw his hands. So for me, that's the signal.
Why you decide to shoot in at that situation?
So the plan from the beginning was to use the jab to the head and the body to get he knows that I'm going to grapple with him. I'm a Westerner and I fight for Vietnam top team. Yeah, we are a lot of grapplers in this gym. So he knew this was going to happen. So I tried to desensitize him to the takedown. So I jab his head, jab his body, he bringing his hands down. And that was the sign for me. After I jab him in the body, then I do a fake to jab to the body. You'll see it in a second. Not quite yet. This one here, yeah. So you see he throwing his hands even though I don't touch him. I know that when I go with the shot to the body, he's gonna move his hands away from the face. That leaves me some space to land a big punch over with my right hand. And when I hit him, dude, I hit him as hard as I could. And I think it did stun him a bit, meaning that he was not prepared for the takedown. So I just duck under his hands and finish the takedown. In addition to this as well, we are already quite close to the cage. So even if I failed with the takedown, we would both run and hit the cage, where it's much easier for me to take somebody down. So that was the thinking. Hit him with a hard shot, set up with the body jab, then go underneath with the takedown.
When you take him on the ground, you have any plan to play the game with him?
I didn't really have a lot of belief in my submission skills at this point. So what I'm trying to do here is control him and land some hard shots. So I'm punching a little bit to the body, then going over the top to his head. Yeah.
Did he make you like some difficult?
Yeah, so actually you can see it here. He has what you call butterfly hooks, right? Where he has his feet on the inside of my thigh. He can use these to lift me, yeah, and start sweeping or standing up. I'm trying to pass it here, but I'm failing to do so. This was a little annoying, but it wasn't so much.
Because I'm just a newbie for martial art, can I ask you just about the situation that I see it?
Yeah. So what he should be doing here is trying to sweep me or at least lift me off him with his legs so that he can stand up. But he's failing to do so. So I was quite happy to just, as you see, body, body, head, body, body, head. In addition to this, the referees are quite keen to get the fighters to stand back up for the action fights, right? So if I was to do slower grappling transitions where I'm trying to set up a submission, maybe the referee would stand me up anyways. But because I'm clearly landing punches, it wouldn't make sense for the referee to step in at this point. So that was my plan on the ground. And here, finally, I passed from the butterfly guard to half guard, where I feel like I can exercise a little more control. Yeah. What do you think of this first round?
I think you do really good. You control the game on the first round. How about the second round? Any highlight on the second round?
Yeah, we'll see that coming up. I make a little bit of an error in the very beginning of the second round, but nothing too serious. But yeah, that's how I felt, honestly, at the end of this round. Was nice. There is no way I lost that round. 1-0 team
1-0.
teacher Harry, yeah. I walking back to the cage, back to my corner was perfect start. That went exactly as I had planned. Okay, next, round 2. So here we are, fighter checks. Are you ready? Are you ready? Go. So, any questions here?
What's your plan when you're moving into second round?
So the message from my corner was this: good job first round, same again in the second round. Yeah, because then if I win the first round clearly. If I can do the same in the second round, then even if I lose the last round, I already won 2. So I only need to win one of the next 2 rounds to win the fight completely, unless he knocks me out or submission. But it didn't look likely at this point, so this was the plan. Just same again. So that's what I was thinking. Again, push to his half of the cage, keep him where I want him, and try to get some sort of takedown. So let's go, yeah, running across. I take the center of the cage, and I go with the leg kick. And as you can see here, yeah, not off to a great start.
He cut your leg.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So let's see if I can pause it at the right time. Boom, yes, perfect. So here I'm going for a leg kick. The reason I've picked a leg kick here is it's like a long range weapon. Technically speaking, I should be able to land a leg kick and maintain my distance, you know. But a combination of two things led to me being tripped over. Number one, I think I'm standing a little too close to him. I've made a poor read of the distance between himself and myself. Then again, I am kicking him with the very lower part of my shin, so maybe it's not the distance. What certainly is the problem is where am I kicking him? So in MMA, the most popular place to kick somebody in the leg, particularly now, is the bottom half of his leg, like the calf, right? If I don't want to kick him in the calf, then at least somewhere around the knee area, like just above the knee. But as you can see here, I've kicked him almost on his hip bone, right? Way too high up. So as you can see here, he grabs my leg, uh, kicks the other one, and I fall to my back. What do you think of my unorthodox technique here? Yeah, the roly-poly, the backwards roll.
Why can you do that?
Yeah. So first of all, like as soon as my back hits the mat, my priority is to stand up again as soon as possible. Because like for the same reason he would have wanted to stand up in the first round. If my back is on the mat, I'm losing. Yeah, this is not a good position for me. So my priority, yeah, as I said, when my back hits the mat, stand up. Oftentimes what people do is they frame with one hand and do what you call like a technical get up. They essentially just stand up in front of the opponent. But when you do this, as the opponent is rushing into you, you're at a bit of a risk as you're standing up. You know, you've got one hand on the mat behind you, you're standing up. There is some space for him to land some punches around your guard. Camille, the champion of the 70 kilogram 70 kilogram division in the same organization, he showed me this technique. He said if you ever get swept off of a kick, you can go with a backwards roll. Because first of all, you're already falling backwards, so the momentum will help carry you over. Second of all, instead of standing up right in front of them, I'm rolling back the way. So I'm increasing the distance between me and my opponent, so I'm a little safer. And finally, if the distance between my opponent and myself is greater, he will want to close this distance because he knows I'm in a sort of a compromised position when I'm standing up. So he will rush towards me, which means there is an opportunity for me to shoot a takedown, which, if we look at the clip again, is exactly what I do. So skip here, start, touch gloves, go with the leg kick, yeah, roly-poly, shoot for the takedown, and then I push him to the cage. So not a great start, but we recover well enough. So here I'm controlling him here with the head position, my forehand under his chin, as well as an underhook on the near side. But as you can see, I'm struggling to take him down. Yeah, he has a good wide base. He's making it difficult for me. So what I do is I break away, I throw some shots to the body and head to create an opening, and I take another shot, after which I'm able to pull him down with a single leg. Here, he locks up what is called a guillotine, which is like a choke on the neck, where you join your hands underneath my neck and you try to like submit me from here. But it didn't feel very strong, and I also knew that if I passed his guard, which I almost had done already, then the threat of the choke would be gone. From here, I step right into a sort of leg drag position, and then into mount. Not quite mount, 3/4 mount. I go for some ground and pound. He locks his hands around my body and pulls me back in. So again, even when he's doing this, like pulling me back, I think fine, pull me onto you, I'm on top. This is still my round if I stay in this position.
Did you tend to submission him by some way?
I had hoped to, but as I said, like my submission skills at this point were, I didn't have much confidence in them. So I thought that, yeah, just staying busy with the ground and pound was a way to like ensure the victory. So I do the same thing again here.
Like if you do an armbar like or something, will be very cool.
I agree, but I don't know. I didn't feel like I had the position for a submission, so I maintained the control. Talking of submission, he goes for one here, in fact. What he tries to do in this position here is Perfect. What he's trying to do is move his arm that is on the far side of my head around to this side here. Yeah. So as you can see, he's moved his hand from the opposite side of my head to the same side. What he's going to try to do here is pass his hand and connect it to his wrist behind my tricep. Then crank my arm in what's called a Kimura submission. It can be used to submit me or to roll me over. However, I was hit to it. I knew that's what he was trying to do, so I made sure I popped the elbow back in to prevent him from doing so. Yeah, there we go. And you see, safe. So no worries there. So sure, even if he is on the bottom, I still have to be wary of the threats that he can pose from here. So not taking too many risks and being very sensible when it comes to defending his submissions and his threats. Here I'm trying to set up a head and arm triangle. I've got my head underneath his arm on the far side, but I just couldn't feel like I could get it going. He's quite strong, so he was doing a good job of keeping the arm down and not letting me push it up to by his head. Again, here, just maintaining my control. He does have an underhook here, which I have to deal with. I use my forearm on his chin to push him back to the mat, as well as my forehead. And again, yeah, quite happy to just stay in half guard, chipping away with the shots. I'm pretty sure at this point as well, I knew that there wasn't long left in the round. So maybe I should have gone a little harder with the ground and pound to seal the victory, or like to certainly seal the round. But I knew at this point I had done enough to win this round. And yeah, I go for a little there, and round 2 is over. So at this point, walking back to the cage, back to my corner, sorry, I'm like, damn, like this is going, oh, hands, nice. I'm thinking, damn, this is going really well. I'm 2 rounds up now. All I need to do is see this to the end of the fight and I win. So that is the feeling in the corner for me at this time. Yeah, so in between rounds, yes. Yeah.
See a little bit of blood.
Yeah, I don't know how this happened. He didn't really land any hard punches. Maybe one left hook in the exchange, but I didn't see nothing. And Lion Championship, they don't like the blood because it's on VTV, you know, it's on national television. So they have to spend some time during this round to clean it up.
Yeah. In the fight, when you get hit, did you get angry?
No, man. He didn't hit me hard enough for me to like really feel angry. No, I would say not this fight at least. Nothing yet. But anyways, that was round 2. Now we're headed into round 3.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Skip. 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 Okay. Round 2, let's go. Yeah, so once they dealt with the blood, it was time to get things going again. I wanted them to start it quickly because I was rested somewhat. I knew he was exhausted. Yeah. Again, I'm standing probably a little too close to him. I do land a nice right hand on the inside, but then again, we tie up. And as soon as I tie up with anybody, or in this fight, as soon as I tied up with him, I knew I wanted to take him down to the cage because I already took him down twice from this position. Yeah, to the cage and take down. So it's the same idea again. I'm using let's go back a little bit here. I'm using my foot here to dig his leg away from the cage, allowing me to grab it in a sort of single leg. And from here, I just follow him round, lift his leg, and dump him on his back.
Yeah. Very struggle.
Yeah, he had a tough time this fight. Damn, if it was me in his position, I'd be so sad, right? Like you're doing all of this preparation, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, training harder than you've ever trained before, just to spend like 8 minutes of the fight on your back, not able to do anything. But that's the game,
Yeah.
That's how it goes. So again here,
Hit or get hit, right?
that's it. Here I'm again trying to land some ground and pound. I think if I was to do anything differently here, I have him in a position that is very difficult for him to escape, right? Like his head is right next to the cage, so it's going to be hard for him to stand up. I should be the one standing up here, so I can stand over him and land the ground and pound shots. But for whatever reason, I decided that wasn't the best thing to do in this position. But I think that's something I would do differently now. Yeah, is I would get up and really try to smash at this point because, as I said, he's in a really poor position here. Not much defense for him. Here we go. I'm standing up. Yeah, so I do a poor job of clearing the feet off of my hips. So it was explained to me once that when you're in the gym, like the strongest lift that you will do is the leg press, yeah, where you put your feet on the machine and you
Yeah,
push it away from you, yeah.
I know.
Most people, like most men, can do like 100, 200 kilos, maybe sometimes more. So if you're on your back and you're defending the top player, if you can just put your feet on him, you can press him away from you, and that's exactly what my opponent did. I should have recognized this was going to be a problem before then. Here, what I should have done is something like put my hands on his shins or underneath his heels and push my hips forward and lift his feet off of my hips. Yeah. If his feet are not on my hips, then he cannot push me. But
But he pushed you.
yeah, and it gives him a small
Ooh.
opportunity to stand up. I sprawl on his like attempt to get up, and I take him back down again. Yeah, I knew this was where my strength was. I knew I'd win the fight in this position, so any opportunity for me to take him down, then I'll do so. But yeah, this is kind of what the rest of the fight looks like. He's trying his best to create some space between me and him and stand up. I'm trying to control him as well as landing some ground and pound. And here I step from the butterfly guard to the half guard. So with like a minute left, I was very confident of my ability to control him in this position, to land some strikes and be busy enough so that the referee didn't stand me up. And I thought, perfect, win the fight, 3 rounds to nothing. There we go. I think the referee is trying to tell me to hurry up and do something, but yep, there are some punches, so he can't really tell me to do something, yeah? I'm doing something, like clearly I'm punching him in the face.
But he prevent you to punch him.
I know, of course, yeah. It's tough. Ground and pound is more difficult than you'd imagine, right? You think, I'll just sit on him and punch him in the face, but he's moving around, he's pushing his hips into me, like to off balance me whenever I pull back to punch him. He's using his hands to grab my wrists or my elbows. So that is something I've been working a lot on over the last 9 or 10 months since this fight is my ground and pound. Like finding ways to control my opponent without the use of my hands or in ways in which trap their hands and their legs, allowing me to hit freely. He goes for a stand up again. Yeah, he's doing well. I think that was like a last effort, like stand the fight up at all costs. And time's up. Done. Yeah, you see that there? That face?
But
Okay, that went well. Yeah. Any questions?
mm, because I don't know much about mixed martial art. Just one question. Uh, how do you feel about the mixed martial art in Vietnam?
Um, I think, as is evident by this fight, the grappling has some way to go, and I really think that especially at the lower levels, at like the B class and the lower A class, a lot of the guys really struggle with the grappling. So that is probably its one weakness. In Vietnam, you have a lot of really good strikers, but something I'm really happy about, I guess, as an aspiring fighter myself, is the kind of like promotion and support that there is for fighters. Like this was an amateur fight, yeah. Back in my home country, maybe they would put it on YouTube, maybe. Here, they had a whole big production crew, an announcer, event, like music, lighting, and everything, and they put it on national TV. So clearly, to me, there's like a lot of push behind this sport, and that's very encouraging for myself.
And what is your plan in the future?
My plan in the future is I've got a fight, hopefully, in July of this year. So about 9 weeks from now.
Yeah, looking forward
so-
to see your fight.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be my professional debut, which is pretty awesome. Because when I first got into fighting, that was the goal, yeah, to be a professional fighter. Like that's the aim. Day one in the gym, yeah, overweight, long ass hair. I'm going to be a professional fighter, and it's gonna happen, which is pretty awesome.
It's happened right now.
It is indeed. Science. So I think that's it. Okay, so cut. So that'll do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed having a look inside the mind of a fighter on fight day. You know, how am I feeling? What is my plan? You know, what am I thinking, etc., etc. We're actually going to record another Teacher Harry Reacts in a few weeks' time. So if you have any questions, then please feel free to leave them in the comments below. In addition to this video marks what I hope will be a series of content released once per week in the build up to my next fight in the middle of July. So if you enjoyed this kind of thing, then please feel free to subscribe. It's something that we're both pretty excited about working on. So I think we've got a lot of cool and interesting stuff coming your way. Once again, thank you so much to our sponsor, Jai. Make sure I'm pronouncing this right. Jai. Who, as they said, have been kind enough to sponsor not only this video, but all of the videos over the next few weeks. So go check out their stuff. And finally, don't forget to follow me on social media. So subscribing to the YouTube channel, as well as following me on Instagram at hsmith97. I'm sure you'll leave like a little graphic in the corner for me, right? Okay, and please come down to Vietnam Top Team and check out the gym, man. We've got some great coaches, some really great facilities as well, all different kinds of classes, boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, MMA, so fight team as well. So anything from a complete beginner all the way up to a professional, we have everything for you here. So hope to see you around. Till next time. Os. Let's go. That's fine. That'll do. That'll do.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.